Hello everybody and welcome to Shave Up. Today we're going to just be going over some information regarding the soaps and creams, just kind of as a guide for anyone who's looking to purchase for the first time, and just kind of just to go over for anyone else who wants to know a little bit more about my opinions and views on and the information that I've gathered over the little bit time that I've been wet shaving. It's been about 5 years? No, not 5 years. 3 years. So let's just begin. So the soaps and creams are mainly in two categories: soap and cream. And it's pretty self-explanatory. Soaps are generally harder. Like here we have the Williams mug. There's the box back there. It's like a bar of soap that you would use to, hand soap. And then creams, they're softer, more like lotions. And they often come in tubes like this. And so they're very, very similar. They both have the same purpose: to make a lather to protect your face while you shave. And so they do have some slight differences. Like the creams, obviously they're softer and they have more water to begin with, so oftentimes they'll require less water to use to make a lather. The soaps, they usually require a little bit more water because they have less water, and they usually last longer because they're harder. The soaps, they generally come in either a puck or in a container like the Provence here. Provence or whatever it is. And then there's a little subcategory for the soaps. You have a hard soap and a soft soap. The Provence, the Vanderhagen, the Williams, these three are hard soaps. And then there's also the soft soaps, and the Proraso is a little bit of a softer soap. There are softer soaps than Proraso, but let's see if this will focus here. Yeah. But what you can do with the soft soaps is you can indent it a little bit. And this is a little bit wetter than you would get it right out of the box, because I used it and then closed that up right away, so it didn't dry out completely. And then the creams, they'll either come in a tube, like both this Nivea and the CO Bigelow that I have here. Both of them came in a little box that had the tube in it. And then you also have ones that will have a tub or a container, and then it'll be just the cream in there. And that's what I have here, and this is actually from a friend of mine. Let me borrow his cream that he had bought. This is the Art of Shaving Lemon here. And so, camera doesn't want to focus today. Let's see here. There we go. Manual focus. Oh yeah. So this is a lot wetter. You can see by the little shine it has. And it is just how it is. And so I scooped it out of a big tub. It was bigger than even this mug here, and just put it in there. And so with the soaps, you can either, if they have a little container, you can just leave it in here like I have with this one. This Vanderhagen, this is my third puck of this actually, and this is the first one I've left in the plastic container. I've usually put it in a mug before, and then you just let it in there and you'll use that so you don't have to hold it in your hand and whip it up with the brush. And the Williams mug, I've had this in here. You just use a mug or a bowl. I got this from a thrift store. It was shorter than most mugs, so I thought it would work really good, and so far it has. Well, you just use whatever works for you. And then, yeah, let's get a good look at this now that I've got the focusing down here. Let's go ahead and do this again. You can see a little indent in there, but Whereas with the Williams mug, I'll use this finger here. Go ahead and nothing. But yeah, so that's just a little bit information here regarding the soaps. And where you can get a lot of this stuff is actually surprising. If you go to, take a look at the shaving sections in the stores that you go to, and you'd actually be surprised of how much you actually see in there. I got the Vanderhagen from it was Walgreens. They had a good sale going on for that. So I got 2 of them. And so this was in that box. This was actually at a hospital in their gift shop. And I think they had it in there because my friend's mom worked there, and he said that all the stuff that they have in the gift shop, it has to be very hypoallergenic. So I guess haven't looked too much into it. But this is a good soap, and I got it from a hospital, and so if you look places, you'll be surprised. I got the Williams from a grocery store, Nivea also from a grocery store. Got the C.O. Bigelow from Bath & Body Works. They come in 2 sizes there. This is the 10 ounce, and then they have the 5 ounce tube. And then I got my Proraso from a shaving shop. I haven't ordered anything offline yet because I've been lucky enough to be able to find everything in just stores near me. You can also find blades, and some places will even have safety razors and brushes and other things. Ah, yes. Okay. And just also wanted to go over real quickly as well. I find that the hard soaps, it's a little bit easier to use a bore brush, because the bore brushes are a little stiffer and they can get more of the soap up onto the brush easier because it'll dig in a little bit more. Or if you have a hard soap like the Prege Provence or the Vanderhagen, you can bloom it by putting a little bit of water on it. I don't like to do that very often because I feel it makes the soap go away faster, and I like things to last. But you just fill it up a little bit of soap like I showed in my how to face lather. I don't know, I'll put an annotation somewhere on the screen to that one where I showed the blooming with this soap. I think it was the bowl lather. Yes, because it was the bore brush. But yeah, you just put a little bit of water, let it soak for a little bit. I just like to do it for like a minute or 2. Lots of people like to do it for like 5 minutes or more or so, and that really does loosen up the upper layer of the soap and make it easier to get it loaded onto the brush. And it also has more of the water, so it makes it a little bit easier to lather, but I don't like to do it that often. And with this one, I have never done it because there's a little bit of space between the soap and the container, and I didn't want the water to get down on the sides because I'm weird like that. But that's what's wonderful about wet shaving, is there's so much and so many options, so many different ways to do things. You can always find out what works for you and what you like to do the best. And if you have a friend, let you borrow some soap, you can try it out too. It's always nice and fun. And sometimes a soap will come in 2 different forms. Like Proraso, they have the Proraso in the tub, and then they also have it in a tube as well. I don't have any tubes. This is all I have right now. I'm working on getting some more, hopefully. We'll see. And yeah, so I prefer Badger brush over bore brush. I get those mixed up usually. I know what they are, but I just always mix up the name. But for the soft soaps and creams especially, I generally use my Badger brush. Yeah, Badger brush, because I feel it works better with the creams for me. And yeah, I think that's some pretty good information for you folks. I think just maybe go over some prices real quick. This one says it's $15.99 on the bottom right there. And this was $10. Williams was less than $1. I think it was 98 cents. Maybe it went up to over $1 after taxes. This was $10 for the 10-ounce tube, I believe. And I can't remember how much this was. I think it was between $3 and $5 or so. But there was a 3.5 ounce tube, and it's lasted me quite a while, especially when putting in rotation. But yeah, remember, do what works for you and shave up. Have a great day.